After the ball is over, after the skein is done, after the die lot's finished, and you are short just one, many a knitter has made a tearful and desperate call, pleading with their local yarn shop, go after that ball.
Hello everybody, welcome to the Pen, Hook, and Needles podcast, episode 374. Today is Saturday, October 12th, 2019. As we are recording, I am Marlisha, also known as Lady Fernico.
And I'm Talia, also known as Franciscan Gypsy.
We want to welcome all new and returning viewers to the Fun and the Woman Cave. You can find us on YouTube, our YouTube channel, and you can find us, if you're watching it, you're probably watching us on YouTube. So
yeah.
Or you can also find us at phnpodcast.freeforms.net. That's where all the alongs and things take place. So we'd love to see you there if you want to take part in the fun. I am Marlisha, also known as Lady Fernico.
And I'm Talia, also known as Franciscan Gypsy.
Okay. And I think I might have said that already. I'm really tired of it.
I don't remember.
I'm tired and I just been busy getting ready to do a massive yarn dyeing, so a little bit scattered. Anyway, welcome aboard. I don't have anything to discuss about new podcasts, but I do want to thank those who have sent in donations to the Pregnancy Center and to Evan's Home. We appreciate that. As you know, Evan's Home is from birth on through adulthood, although they focus, I think, through like high school or something, don't they? And they have like a transitional thing.
Yeah, because once they get out of that age group, then they move to a different spot, but they still... Yeah.
Right. So we can take almost anything for them, and the contact person for us for that is Knitter's Magic, who is Laura.
I mean, I don't think they have elderly. I think it's, you know...
Yeah. She's Gracie's mom, 62, and she is our contact person for Evan's Home. And then we have the French World Pregnancy Center, which is our special thing, along with Evan's Home. And then we have Comfort and Crafts, who is Brittany B-Wing, and she has a Facebook page, and she's also on Ravelry with stuff that she does for that. And then the Amelia Project, which is VT Kimmy Kim, okay, and that's NICU hats. So we have a lot of charities. If you don't know where to send your charities, or you have extra after you do your own charities, we don't care where they go as long as they get sent. But we always appreciate donations from you. Okay. I'm not going to go through upcoming because it's not close enough. All right, in other groups, in terms of alongs, we are still doing this till the end of the year while we have people who are, doing things with us, and then next year mostly be people who are, on Facebook or stuff like that. But this year we're still doing things with people who are on Ravelry. And we have the Yarn and I Cappy podcast, who is doing the I Love Mickey Cal Lao, and that goes through November 18th, so you've got about another month for that. Is that right? Another month? This is the 12th through the 18th of November. It's a little more than a month to get your projects in for that. And the rules are in her group, and they might be on her Facebook page. I have been very absent from social media, so I'm not really sure where all her information is. But Cappy is also in our group if you want to ask her questions. So you can do that. Or you can contact her, I'm sure, through her either Instagram or maybe her Etsy shop, okay? Crocheting Hoovian podcast group, that's Laura Concert, and she is still doing the Creature Feature Cal Lao with Dot Fire Woman, who is from the Diary of a Physicist Farm Gal podcast. And this is the last quarter, I believe, and I think this is mystical or mythical creatures. So all the rules are in their groups, and Laura has gone over and above. She has made it possible for you to take part in this. If you are not in Ravelry, you can do it on Facebook, her group. She has a special group for that. Or she even has an email. I think we have that link somewhere, don't we? In her group?
The email, I do not, because the email, yes. The Facebook group, no.
The Facebook group, you can ask Laura. She's in our group. Yeah. And, or if you're on Ravelry, you can ask her there. And so she makes it she really bent over backwards so that all of us who want to continue to be a member of her group can be. So we appreciate that, and that's, I think, all the groups that we, all the things that we might want to do as a PHNers with her.
Yeah.
As long as if we wanted to still be a part of her group. So that's really nice. She also has, let me see, I'm trying to think what else she has right now. I'm so far behind. I'm not sure what else she has. Just check it out. She has a whole bunch of things. Tortoise versus Hare is over now, so I'm not sure what else is going on because, like I said, I'm just abominably behind on things. So I'll try and get caught up. And I think that also Laura hasn't podcasted recently either.
Yeah,
so,
I'm not sure because I really haven't watched a whole lot of podcasts recently.
She's been doing doing a lot of dyeing, yarn dyeing, and other things, and also just real life things. So everybody has real life things that they're dealing with, so it keeps us busy. So check her out to see what else she's doing. Comforting Crafts, B-Wing. She is got, what are you reading in 2019? 19 hats for 2019, 52 dishcloths for 2019, and color work. And I think the majority of that is in her Ravelry group. I don't know if any of that's transferred to Comforting Crafts on Facebook.
I think Comforting Crafts on Facebook really is for her charity stuff.
Bee's Knees group, the Studio Von Design, who is Vonnie, and she used to be one of our moderators, and she's fantastic, and she's on Ravelry, and she's got 19 of whatever. So I don't know what she's doing with that, and I wish I knew how she was doing on her class. But we miss you, Vonnie, if you're out there still watching.
Yes.
So you might check her out.
But I understand real life can get in the way.
Absolutely. Okay, PHN Tea and Tails year-long Cal Lao. That's our baby, and we are doing this with Cappy from the Yarn and I Cappy podcast, and she is very, very generous. She has given us a coupon code for her shop and for the shawl kits that she made specifically for Tea and Tails. The Tea and Tails shawl, it's a pattern and a couple of skeins of yarn, so she's given a discount on that, so check out her shop for that. For both discounts, we like to make sure that we support her as much as possible because she's been very supportive of us, and she's very sweet and generous. So she is our co-host, and she's wonderful. And this along, I'm going to read it for my notes here, and then for whatever other alongs, our rules pretty much the same except for the specific details. Okay, so this one runs from January 1st through December 31st. We have another 3 months or so, 2.5 months, whatever it is we have to finish this up. Projects must be knit, loom knit, or crocheted. Previous whips will be allowed but must be worked on during the along and must reflect the theme of tea and or tails. Chatter and pictures are all on the same thread. Projects must be tied in some way, as I said, to tea and or tails. We're talking about fictional tales, okay? And you can check the group for the definition of fiction. If you're unsure, you can go to Goodreads or NaNoWriMo. Not NaNoWriMo.
NaNoWriMo,
wow. It's getting to that time. That's next month. You can go to Goodreads or you can go to Amazon. You can ask us or you can ask one of the moderators.
But don't go to NaNoWriMo. That's not what it's for.
No. It's all fiction, though. But that's not allowable. It has to be something that's published. Okay.
So if you're NaNoWriMo, we're sorry, your story doesn't count.
Right. Okay, and where was I? 1 whip per project per week, the FO whenever it's completed. We have featured patterns and yarns, as always. Our featured yarns are my yarns that are related to tea and or tails, and Cappy's yarns that are related to tea and or tails. Patterns, Cappy's shawl kit, and the shawl and the yarn for that kit. Talia's patterns, that's Franciscan Gypsy Designs. My pattern. Joanna Johnson's patterns, Mom Cook's patterns, those are loom knit, and Crocheting Hoovian patterns, and Vonnie's patterns, if they can be related to tea and or tails. Okay? All right. The prizes for the 4th quarter are going to be a Plum Deluxe purple package. Rena? I know you missed this time, but actually you didn't. I think she got it, and then I had to... No, she didn't. She missed it, because if she had gotten it, I would have given it to her. She got it 2 out of 3 times. So that's awesome. But anyway, that's a really wonderful package. And then a Mom Cook pattern, okay? And that's Renee. She does loom knit, and she does one knitted pattern, okay? Then the end of the year mega prize. I'm not going to go through what's in there. You're just going to have to be surprised. Okay, it's a big package. Ask the winner of last year. Who won it last year? I forget.
Oh, I don't know. That was last year.
That was last year. Yeah. Okay. Also running right now is our toy along, and it's going strong. I hope to see more toys in there soon. It's I like seeing the toys take shape, and I know I've been absent. I haven't even worked on a toy since it started, but I do have 3 or 4 on the hooks, so I hope to be getting involved with that soon. And the rules are the same for this, except it has to be a knit, crocheted, or loom knit toy, and it has to be worked on during the time period, as we said. So that's basically it for that. You know, we do have featured patterns, and I'm sorry, I'm a little tongue-tied this morning. The toy patterns are Franciscan Gypsy Designs toy patterns.
I don't think you sound tongue-tied. You're doing well.
Oh, thanks. Bakery Bear toy patterns. That's K.F. Jones. Crocheting Hoovian's Hufflepuff toy pattern. That's Laura. And any toy made with Lady Fernico Creations yarn. Those are eligible for 2 chances at a prize. If it is a featured toy with my yarn, then it is 3 chances at a prize. Okay. Let's see here. The hashtag is hashtag PHNToy2019. That's Instagram. All right. Some suggested toy designers you might want to consider. Now, these are not all featured. These are just suggestions. Bakery Bears, which is knitted. Franciscan Gypsy Designs is crocheted. Susan Claudino's knit. Patchwork Moose is crocheted. Susan Anderson is knit. Fresh Stitches is crocheted. Barbara Prime is knit. Paw 5 is crocheted. Chua Love is knit and crochet, and a Crocheting Hoovian is crochet for the toys. Okay, and those are just some ideas. There are plenty on Lovecrafts, on Ravelry, on just search for toys and you can find books, whatever. It doesn't matter. Those are just some suggestions to get you started if you're new to the toy along.
I don't remember who Popeye is.
I can't remember. I know I've done stuff by that person.
Because that's why you put them down, but I don't remember.
I can't remember. And another one that would be really good.
The one who does the build the teddy?
Yeah, she would be good, but that's Lovecraft. But no, this is the one I'm doing the dinosaur from.
Oh, okay.
And Laura is very familiar with her. Laura, you probably remember, because you do the giraffe, I think it is, all the time from her. I wish I could remember, but I can't.
I don't know who you're talking about.
Because my brain is addled right now. Anyway, so just take a look. This is a really fun along, and I can't wait to see what you guys do with it. Okay, they make great Christmas gifts, and they make great charity projects. So, or just feel-good projects for somebody, you know? All right, we do have prizes, and we will show them at a later date because I just kind of wrote them down, and I need to check to make sure I've got the right thing in the right place.
Right.
But we've had some wonderful donations, and we have just some nice prizes.
Have you heard back from everybody yet for last straw?
No, I haven't heard back from a couple of the winners. I don't remember who they are, though. I've sent off everyone that I heard from. I sent off your prizes, okay? And I know I don't have to hear back from Patty because Patty, I think it was, won the Mom Cook prize. I think I need to hear back from Sylvie. But I don't remember who the other prize winners was. It was 2 or 3 of them I didn't hear back from. So the sooner you get back to me, listen to the last podcast to see what you've won. You can contact me. Don't contact Talia. Contact me.
Yeah, I'm really not a good one to contact at this point.
And you can contact me on our PHN home, or you can contact me on Instagram or on Etsy. Okay? Private message me if you have my contact information, like some of you do. You can use that as well. Just
somehow make contact.
Somehow make contact with me. Okay? Because I can't get it to you unless I know that you won. Okay? All right. Moving on. Rough drafts.
How many do you have?
I have 5.
I think I might as well. Let me see. No, I don't think I have as many as 5. I think I have 4.
Okay.
No, I do have 5.
Okay.
So, you go first.
How about, hold on.
Are you actually going to have a straw for it?
I am. I'll even let you draw.
We need a coin.
Yes, we do. A two-headed coin. Okay. That's who goes first, whoever that is.
I go first.
Okay. Just so you all see that there was actually two different letters. There's an M and a T. I don't know if you can see the T, but there you go. All right.
Okay. So, I'll just show this one. I have to measure it when I'm done anyway.
Made some good progress on that.
I didn't really work on it that much.
I guess it just grows really quick because
Well, it's bulky.
Soft.
But I think it still has a little bit of oil, just straight. I did change yarns though.
Oh, did you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. How are you going to weave that in?
I have absolutely no idea.
Oh my gosh.
I will cross that bridge when I get to it.
I think it'll hide it really well.
Oh, I
though.
think it will too.
Yeah.
I could think there'll be a way. I just can't.
You might have to
remember it.
YouTube it.
And it might have to be at a point where I'm not braced.
I was down at the place at the bottom of the hill with Daddy the other day when we got the ties and my workout videos, and they had some of that Bernat, I think it is, faux fur, faux whatever it is, kind of like this stuff. We'd seen it as one of the, I think it was one of the options on that yarn replacement thing. I don't think it'd be nearly as soft as this though.
No, this is nice and soft. So this is, let me bring up the pattern on Lovecrafts. Sorry, it's thinking. And
Calculating.
my profile, there we go. This is the Miss Bianca hat. I actually couldn't remember the name of the project for a second, which is why I was stalling.
Oh, okay.
This is the Miss Bianca hat, and making it for Little Miss Thing. I'm making the pattern is Luxury Lucia Faux Fur Simple Hat. I'm just bringing it up so you can see what it looks like. Now, that pattern is by Mad Monkey Knits on Lovecrafts. And I didn't get the yarn that was required by the pattern because it's not available in the US. So I'm using Fildar Fil Hours in the colorway Gris. And let's see if I have a tag. Yes, I do. And I mean, it's coming. I don't work on it a whole lot because it does require a teensy amount of focus just to make sure I'm not missing any stitches. But this would make like an excellent muff or
Be a nice kind of a lap blanket or something.
yeah.
Be a great toy.
But you couldn't have anything with a lot of shaping, and you definitely couldn't do a crochet. You'd have to do knit.
Well, you could do a toy if you held it with something.
But you have to do it knit.
I don't know.
Crochet, you would not be able to see.
Yeah, that's true. That's
Knit,
true.
at least you can get away with
That's
it.
true, yeah.
Crochet, you would not be able to see enough to see your
But
stitches.
it still would make a great toy.
Well, like I said, it would make a great knit toy. I don't think it would make a great crochet toy.
I think crocheting a toy out of that would probably drive the person insane.
Because you simply could not see your stitches.
I know people crochet with that kind of stuff, but it would drive me nuts.
But yes, this got some work on it. I actually think it's the amount of work I'm doing I'm doing right now on it.
Okay.
And it's kind of a silvery
purple?
color. Yeah, it's got like a lavender undertone to it. It was they only have like 3 colors in this that was available on Lovecraft, so there you go.
Okay, in my Knitting's My Bag, Night Owls, is my Follow Your Dream from the Yowza Way It Shawl 3 pattern by Susan B. Anderson. I only did 1 row on this. I didn't knit at all until we went, I think I did a little bit of something right after we podcast, and then I didn't knit at all till we went to physical therapy with Talia on Thursday, and then I didn't do anything else after that. I've been too busy.
Well,
So
I think my physical therapy is going to be like your huge knitting time.
until I get my orders out.
Yeah.
So this is, I only did one row on this, so it doesn't look like I did much. But it's pretty, and I like it, and it doesn't take any real concentration. So I just have to make sure what row I'm on, and then I'm good to go. And I'm using Chalgoos. These are the Chalgoo needles that I don't care for. I love my Chalgoos. My Chalgoo red lace circular fixed. These are red lace, but they're not red lace. No, the red. There's a red something and there's red lace. And the red lace, I think, is the
The
ones I
red
like.
lace are the ones you like.
This one are just like, I don't know what the red something, but I must have made a mistake and read it fast. And this has a little bend in it. I really don't like that. The only thing I like about that is if you have something that's really slippery, it might keep it from slipping off too far. But it's a good hook. I can use it.
It's not a hook at all.
I mean, needle. I do like it. I'm going back to my roots. I do like them, but I prefer the Chalgoo red lace circulars as opposed to these. I don't know what size I'm using. US 8, 5 millimeters. Okay. There.
Okay, so this is Davina's Diana's hat. I don't even remember what I called the project.
Is
But
that Rainbow Dreams?
well, the
One of them was
yarn is Rainbow Dream.
Oh, okay.
And it's by Lemonade Shop. And it's been getting some work on it. Not a whole ton. I worked on it at the company picnic because I knew that they were going to have the potential of maybe a lot of games. And I obviously can't partake in those because they're usually like physical type games. Although I know in the past they said they had like things where there'd be people doing in teams and stuff. And I know part of the time I wasn't really paying attention because I was at the nursing table because none of the nurses went and did any of that. But as far as I could tell, people weren't doing that. I mean, they were doing like that corn, where you throw the little bag into the
beanbag, yeah.
into the thing.
Beanbag toss.
It's called like corn something or other.
I never heard of that.
Yeah, I don't know. I've never played it, and people were doing horseshoes and things like that, but it wasn't anything super intense. But I had this for the period of time when I was sitting after we ate. Didn't get a whole lot done, but a little bit. But yeah, that's really about it to say about this. This didn't get a whole lot of love.
It's pretty though.
So yeah, it's a,
I want to see the repeat on this.
yeah, it doesn't
there it
pop
is.
up
Okay.
very often.
Yeah.
It's just enough to give you a surprise pop.
That's very pretty. Okay.
Well, I picked this up because I like the way that her stuff shows up for that. I like she only dyes one end, I think is what it is.
Well, very small end.
Yeah.
Well, she
Oh.
dyes the whole skein, but she.
But I mean,
Yeah.
with the brightness.
Yeah.
With the little pop thing.
Yeah.
Because you've seen her skein.
Yeah.
At least is what it looks like she does to my not very, non-direly eye.
Which is a challenge in itself.
Yeah.
Okay. In my, let's see. Yes, this is the right back. This is my Ploverbird little teapots bag, and this is my Pixels project that I did. I did a few skeins on this at the office. It's still got a ways to go, but this is Yowza What a Skein in the Perfectly Reckless colorway. And I could see this becoming another kind of go-to. What do I do here? I'm very talented.
I have to admit, I don't think it's as pretty as your other one that's your go-to.
No, but it's easier on my hands.
Yeah.
So if I need a go-to that's a little bit easier on my hands, I don't know why I did that. Let's see here. All right. Because I'm talented. I caught my yarn in the stitch here. Okay, there we go. But this is a pretty fast knit. The only thing I have to be careful of is crochet.
It's actually not a knit at all, yeah.
Crochet. Is the fact that I'm getting it in the right place, because the way the pattern is set up, well, it's a free pattern, but I think it's a free pattern.
I thought you said it was.
you have to be careful where you put your stitches.
Mhm.
Why is this not?
I don't know. I don't know the pattern.
I'm trying to figure out what I did here. Oh, there it goes. Now it's moving. Okay. It was stuck. And stuck is not good. Okay. Stuck. Okay. I am not being particularly entertaining. Just give me a second here while I don't...
Well, are you done with that project? I don't mind if you're done.
Yeah,
with
go
that.
ahead.
Okay. Because that's probably be a little bit better. Okay. So, let me see. Oh, yeah, this one. In my... I just realized I didn't show off any of my other 2 bags. Diana's hat is in R2
Oh, that's what that was. Okay.
by Star Knits. And then Fluffy hat is in Plover Bird's little TARDIS bag. In my big TARDIS bag, bigger on the inside, is my TARDIS Traveler project. It is the Dobbinwood pattern by K.F. Jones. And I feel like I've been working on the same 2 inches forever.
Yeah.
Because I keep having to measure, and I'm afraid to take it anywhere where I might be in a waiting room, really, because I don't necessarily have the ability to lay it out
Yeah, pretty.
and measure it there. So it hasn't been getting as much work as I want it to, just because I'm so close to reaching the point that I want to, that I have to make sure I'm at a point where I can measure. Because I think I'll be splitting pretty soon for the fronts.
I think I am going to do that. I think I am going to garter this. Because this is basically all stockinette. And this is that beautiful lace that you've got that she's done.
Mm-hmm.
And this is all stockinette. So it looks beautiful with your seed stitch or whatever she calls this.
Yeah, I forget what because Brit's called something, or maybe it's not British to me. It was just that it has different.
Well, I know they
terms.
had like double seed stitch.
Right, and I know different things.
Does she call this seed or does she call this moss?
I can't remember what she calls it.
Okay, if you're watching, I know you don't.
I
Always
know my
watch, but-
pattern is here. It's just, it's one of those things that you get to a point where you know where you're at, and you don't really necessarily. Let me see, patterns. I don't know why I'm pulling up on my phone. I have the pattern right in my project bag. That'd probably be the more logical way to search for it. She calls it. Let's see. Actually, I think she just says Purl One Knit One.
She's so very talented. Kay is. It's just, and her patterns are really very
Moss
well
stitch.
written.
She calls it
stitch,
moss.
okay. She's very talented. And she writes her patterns very clearly.
I'm honestly not completely sure what the difference between moss and seed is. I think it's actually
I think
different
it's the same.
terms for the same
Yeah, I think
thing.
it's the same. I may be mistaken. I'm not a very.
Honestly, if I know how to do it, I'm not terribly concerned about what it's called.
No.
It's just like, okay, does it get this effect? Great.
Well, I was just trying to make a differentiation between what I was going to do and what you were doing.
Yeah.
So,
But yeah, once I split, I think that then I'll be able to just knit for a long time and not have to worry.
this looks like that too, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
I have a couple sweaters that are mostly that. Although, hang on, is this one that's mostly that? Yeah, it is. Because I had one that was reverse stockinette.
I don't
But this
understand what
isn't
the difference is between reverse stockinette and.
All reverse stockinette is you knit in stockinette and you turn it inside out.
So why don't you just. Well, why don't you just. I don't know. What's the difference?
The only difference is that it's the way you might seam it, the way you might put the buttons on. If it's just plain stockinette, your smooth side, you're going to have the buttons placed so the smooth side is facing outward. If reverse stockinette, it's going to be the bumps facing outward. And then you're going to do your sewing and your placement of your buttons based on that.
I don't know. It just seems like weird.
It's all the same thing. I have a sweater that's primarily
Oops.
that's primarily
Sorry.
reverse stockinette. It's the yellow one.
It's the attack of the toys. Okay, see, up you go. You've got Grayson behind you, or not Grayson, Drake behind you. Okay.
So yeah, that is that.
Okay.
Oops, this goes to this one.
And that was you, right?
Yes.
All right. In my next one, all this yellow. All right, in my Peekaboo Bags Holiday Owls bag is my Jazzy toddler hat. And I did a little bit on this. Basically, I just did a little on a few things so I'd have something to show you guys. So I didn't make a whole lot of progress on anything. But, you know, it's coming along. And it might be that way for the near future because I have other obligations
Dyeing-wise.
for dyeing yarn and shops, my shop and the LYS. So it might be a little bit uninteresting for me at the moment. But there it is. So it's on my Cindy Wood loom that Laura Concert gave me. And I'm enjoying it, as I always do with this. Maybe we'll watch football. I have to wind yarn to watch football. Go ahead.
Okay, so let me just move my stitch marker. There we go. In my Silver Shed USA Ladies of PHN on a Redfield bag. This is my Ann sweater pattern by Joanna Johnson, just like the Diana's hat was by Joanna Johnson. I call this project Ann's Midnight Romance because the colorway of this yarn is Midnight Romance. And it's alpaca. This dyer doesn't dye this yarn anymore. It's,
As far as we know.
well, I had looked for this when I thought that I was going to
Right,
run out.
I'm just saying you haven't checked it recently. I mean,
Right.
really.
When I last checked, when I
Yeah.
started this sweater, which was this year, and not that long this
Yeah.
year, this dye lot, this yarn
Right.
is not available anymore.
And when I checked her about a couple of years back, she wasn't doing a whole lot of yarn anyway. I couldn't find
Yeah.
mine either. Mine was a lot less, complicated to put together.
So, this is Bella Sarah's knitting basket, and it's this black with this red sparkle. It's alpaca.
It's the first time I'd seen like red sparkle like that on a yarn.
Yeah, and I think that's why I fell in love with it, because I like black and red together. And this has actually gotten quite a bit of work. This is usually my go-to project because it's not a measuring thing right now. It's just a go send so many rows, do increases or decreases. And I'm at this point
Very nice.
increasing out for the hips. And I believe it has a long rib pattern after the hips. So
It's really pretty.
once I do that, it'll be just mindless for a little while before I get to the sleeves. So yeah, it's starting to look like a sweater for sure. And like I said, this is kind of my mindless knitting, but if it starts getting dark, I can't work on this because
Gee, I wonder why.
I have noticed, though, I'm not sure if it's the neck brace or if it's just lack of focus. I noticed that more and more I'm coming across my row after having worked on it before, and I'll find that I did yarn over and didn't complete my stitch, so I had to do that more, complete my stitch when I come across it again. So,
At least you're able to fix it.
oh, it's a simple mistake.
Right, but my point is if you're losing focus, it's an easy fix.
Yeah. And there's a reason I'm not doing anything super complicated.
Okay, my next one is in my
Lots of cables and stuff.
Ninja Turtle baby blanket from the Ninja Turtle baby blanket pattern. I think I did 1 or 2 rows on this. I did all this stuff at the doctor's office. And like I said, I was just trying to make it so I had something
Physical
to show you.
therapist, not doctor.
Still physical therapist, doctor's office. I don't care, and nobody else cares.
Yes, they do.
So this is it. You can see that got
Accuracy
a little
is
more
important.
blue.
Yeah, because you only had like one row of blue before,
So
so.
that's it. It's not a huge blanket, but it is definitely not like a premium
Well,
blanket.
it's a
or
baby
anything.
blanket.
And this blanket, I think, originally asked for worsted weight yarn. I'm
It
doing
did.
it in a sport.
It did,
So-
because you want it sized down for baby.
Yeah, I did, and I didn't want to fiddle with the numbers. I didn't want to crunch numbers.
Stitch count.
So yeah, and this is by Lisa Vanilla on Lovecrafts, And it's a cute pattern. I can't wait to finish this so I can put the eyes on.
I have no idea why they fell, considering the fact that I didn't move.
Okay, there. So this is just, right now, it's just basically double crochet, and I've got, this is Bravo Sport. And as much as I like working with Bravo yarn, this is what drives me nuts.
Yeah. I think for my sweater that I haven't worked on for a while, the little baby sweater, I ended up balling it.
Yeah, I usually end up balling
because it was falling apart and driving me nuts.
The problem with balling it is, and probably we should try those yarn nets.
Mm-hmm.
The problem with balling it is that then it's harder to store.
Yarn net doesn't work for this kind of yarn.
Why not?
Because it's wrapped. The way it's wrapped. It's different.
Well, no. If you cake it up and put it in the yarn net,
the cakes don't hold for some
I know, they
reason.
don't,
They're
but they-
really like
it's
they
very-
really don't. They're super loose because I've tried caking.
yeah,
this.
I've tried caking it. I've tried balling it, and the only thing that really works for them is balling the yarn.
Yeah, because for whatever reason, their yarn does not hold in a cake.
Mm-hmm. That particular yarn of theirs, because
They're acrylic.
Yeah, they're
does not hold in a cake.
They're specifically they're Brava.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, you guys, play nice.
So I guess it's me.
I guess so.
So, in my Silvershed USA Peanuts Christmas bag, this, I think, only got a little bit of work done on it. I can't remember which day it was. But this is Dad's Christmas stocking.
It's so pretty.
I'm trying to think. I might have been here last time with the no, I hadn't changed the light green yet. So I was somewhere in here. So I'm now into the combination of the white and the green, which I guess will be holly. I might have a few more inches before I start thinking of the heel, because I think it needs to be a bit longer before we start thinking of the heel.
Yeah.
But this is a nice stocking. This is definitely up Dad's alley. He really likes things. He likes complex color work. Although what I like about color work is it looks a lot more complex than it actually is to knit. You just have to watch where you put your colors. Make sure you put it where it's supposed to be. That's all. But it's not like cables where you might realize several rows down that oh, I cabled it the wrong direction. Or lace. I would not do lace right now. Not anything complex. But yeah, there we go.
Pretty.
So this got only a little bit of love this week.
Okay, my last project is the one I just tend to go to this one. And again, this is in Me and My Dog and Some Yarn bag by Black Horse Knitter. This is my Sorabelle pattern, the Cranberry Cow project, and I did a fair amount of work on this because I can just sit there and go. So I think it was about here last time. So it's making progress. It's I love the color.
By about here, do you mean it was short or do you mean it was long?
What?
Are you saying from here to here was already done, or do you mean that from...
No, I was about here. I had all this done.
Okay, because you measure it differently than I would. I would say, oh, I see. This is where your hook is.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's it's coming along, and
So
eventually
you got about that much done.
yeah, about 4 inches or something
Okay.
like that.
Okay.
This moves really quickly, even in a DK weight. This would be fun in a bulky. Can you imagine doing this in a bulky yarn? It would go super fast. I'm not sure. It
I'm
depends.
not sure
It would depend on what kind of yarn it was. If it was fuzzy,
because you don't want anything too bulky to take away from the delicateness of the pattern.
I'm not sure that it would.
Uh-huh.
Because you'd use a bigger needle, a bigger hook.
Yeah.
So this is a fun pattern, and you guys know my love. I'm well into double digits with this pattern in different renditions.
I love it as a baby blanket. I think
It
it is
is.
the cutest thing.
It is. It's a very cute baby blanket, but I have to finish the other ones before I start another baby blanket in that pattern. So that takes care of that, and I'm done.
Okay. So that leads us on to finished objects.
I don't have any.
I don't either. Yarn dyeing.
Yarn dyeing. I have been very busy when I can get the chance to yarn dye. We've had very, very
Well, Mom's right now
interrupted
taxi.
day. It's been interrupted days. A lot of interrupted days between appointments and just things that have to be done. So I'm a little not behind, but I'm scrambling a little bit to get things done.
Because I don't think you had a day this week where I just had go to work, come home.
No. Between religious obligations, family obligations, and then Talia's stuff, I really haven't had much of a chance. My house is a disaster. But my husband's been very supportive of that. He knows I have things I have to get done, and he's like, okay, go dye yarn now. Go dye yarn now. Laura, your update. Gracie's mom, 62, your update. I've got a good start on the second set of kits now. I'm hoping to get them accomplished in the next week, maybe. And then the problem is that, first of all, I had a couple of the skeins break when I was scanning them. I think they were cut. So I have to rescan a couple of, re-dye a couple of minis. And then...
you think like when they did something with the boxes or whatever they cut?
I don't know if I got a couple that were broken or if I misjudged where to cut it when I had to untie it to reskein. The other problem was that my second Swift, the one that Talia had bought, broke. Or not broke, it's there's yarn on the bottom of it.
But it's right in the gears where if you actually take it apart, all the ball bearings will fall out and you won't be able to necessarily put it back together again.
So my husband had me reorder one, and he's going to try to fix that one.
Now my Swift has lasted a good... I think we said that I got it...
You got it before me.
In like 2010 or something like that.
Yeah, you got it before I got mine.
Yeah. So I've had it at least 9 years.
Yeah, so I'm getting another one of the same kind. And we just kind of... she'll use that just like I used hers. And so... I think what happened was some of the yarn got caught in the gears, and when I unwound it, I didn't get it all.
Right.
And so it just it won't move, it won't turn, and I can't do my skeins if it doesn't turn. So,
right.
I mean, I can, but it's a lot more time consuming, and I have been, but it's really cut my time, cut the amount of things I can do down in a given amount of time. So. I will be doing some yarn dyeing as soon as we finish podcasting, see if I can get a good portion of that done this morning. I also am limited by how many shower rings and receptacles I have to dye yarn in. So I'm hoping to get to the point where I'm almost finished, and then as they dry up, I will reskein the yarn and put them into the packages, and then I hope to also start dyeing yarn for the shop, my own shop, and Laura's different types of yarn. I did do the mini update of last week, and I hope to have an update in the next couple of weeks, maybe, I hope, depending on how much yarn I can get dyed up. So I'm trying to think of something else. Oh, I think I'm going to set up a Facebook page for my shop, and get the word out a little bit, because I still think that I'm kind of getting lost in the shuffle. I know I don't have a lot there, and I can't quite figure out how to see who's stopped by my shop. I don't always get notifications like I used to. So I'd like to become a little more visible. So I think I'm going to set up a Facebook page, and I'll let you know when that happens.
And it'll be a page versus a group, because I think a page would be better.
Yeah, unless people decide that they want to do something in a group. If you want me to do a group, then let me know. But right now, it's going to be a page.
I think that'd be the best way to get it out there, honestly.
Why?
I don't know. I think more people can see them. And it's just personal preference.
I don't see why they would...
I don't know. I feel like a page is just better.
I don't know. I sometimes a group has more options in terms of putting, different things up, but at the moment it will be a page when I do it. It's just a matter of time for me to sit down and get it set up. Any suggestions you might have, I will take into account. As always, I reserve the right to do what I want, but I always take suggestions into account, and I would love to see you there when I finally get it set up. So that takes care of that. For the shop.
I guess that leads on to random. I have some reading. Do you have some reading?
Not really. I mean, I'm still reading my Timothy Zahn. I'm finally actually sitting down and reading that book, the Visions of the Past. And I'm doing my religious reading, but nothing really.
I'm trying to bring up what I finished last week, but I forgot to. We had so much going on that it didn't come up.
Mm-hmm.
Let me just hit pause so it doesn't start playing. Okay, so for me, reading it is a lot of times audiobooks because it's just easier right now. And I found I was listening to, I think it was the Ridiculous History podcast. It's along the same lines of stuff you should know, stuff you missed in history class. Same people produce the podcast, it's just different hosts. And they talked about someone in World War II who he was a Spaniard who was one of the top British spies. Very influential in helping D-Day get off properly. And his name, his code name was Agent Garbo. So I went ahead and listened to Agent Garbo, and I'm so glad I did. I really enjoyed this book. You can't tell because it says only from Audible right across the title. So finding the, I'm gonna pull up on Amazon so you could hear the name of the author because I really enjoyed the book. And it is a nonfiction. And the guy went undetected. There were Nazis who, in their question after the war, who were still convinced that Agent Garbo was one of their best spies. So it's called Agent Garbo, the brilliant, eccentric, secret agent who tricked Hitler. Agent Garbo, the brilliant, eccentric, secret agent who tricked Hitler and saved D-Day. And it's by Stephen Talty. So it was just a fascinating book. Really enjoyed it. Highly recommend if you want an interesting read. Some of the stories are like, wow, this could be fiction, but it's not.
Yeah. I'd like to read that eventually because that sounds interesting. I like history, so that might be interesting to read. Excuse me. Okay, is there anything else we need to do?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah. Okay, we really don't have a whole lot to say this time but that's okay because we were so long last week and it was out. We do want to thank everybody who commented on YouTube. Jessica, Brittany, Sue, Pat, another Brittany, Renna, Kim, and LNS Crafts. We don't like to mention last names.
Did you mention Jess?
I did.
Okay.
So thank you very, very much for your comments there. We also thank the people who commented on Ravelry, or not Ravelry, on our PHN freeform.net, whatever it is. What is it? I still don't know it.
You're close. PHN freeforum.net. I think you're right. Let's see.
It's phnpodcast.freeforms.net. That's the people who commented there. We're very grateful for them as well. Please do contact me if you won prizes. Okay, Sylvie, I need to hear from you about the prize you won. I'm not sure if you've seen the podcast yet because I know you're busy. I think she's a teacher, isn't she?
Yes.
So I know she's busy. And I'm not sure who the other winners were that I haven't heard from. So please, if you skipped over to this podcast but you participated in the alongs and you don't know who the winners are, please go back to the last podcast and check and see if you won something and then contact me so I can get that out to you. Okay. Yeah, I guess that's it.
I think so, yeah, because I really don't have any new news. Physical therapy once a week in Maryland, so.
Right.
Because that's where a specialist is, so that's where you go when you're dealing with your spine.
Yeah.
You don't mess with that.
No.
So
my husband is going to a maxi flex schedule so he can have a little more freedom with his schedule and not have to take so much leave. so I don't have to drive all over creation.
And my work is awesome. They really work with me.
They do.
So.
You've got a wonderful office.
Uh,
So, we want to thank everybody for their love and support, because we've gotten a lot of love and support. Why do I feel like somebody sent us something?
Not this week. We showed Patty's last week.
Yeah. Oh, Patty, I read your note after we got off
Yes,
the podcast. It
very
almost
nice.
made me cry.
Thank
you
you.
very much. It was very sweet. Okay, so that's that then. Okay,
Yeah.
without dallying any longer, we hope to see you next week on for the Fun in the Women Cave. And this is the pen. I know. I was going to wish you a week full of every blessing and good thing, knitting, crocheting, crafting, whatever you like to do. And we hope to see you back here again next week for the Fun in the Woman Cave. This is the Pen, Hook, and Needles podcast, episode 374, and that's a wrap.
Bye.